So, Clemente Russo of Italy coming out of the red corner, Evgeny TISHCHENKO of Russia fighting out of the blue.
Well, if ever there was a crowd pleaser that wasn't a Kazakh, Clemente Russo is it. The Italian explosive fighter. Absolute flair he brings to this tournament. Evgeny TISHCHENKO, accomplished, very classic boxer. Just look at the explosive energy that Clemente Russo can unleash. Russo, a silver medalist at the Beijing Olympic Games. And again a silver medalist at the London Olympics. So he brings a great pedigree to this. TISHCHENKO, a Russian national champion. Fights southpaw. TISHCHENKO. And he'll want a cat and mouse his way out of that explosive reach of Russo. Russo springs forward, body punches, trying to bring the guard down. That right hand thundering into the midsection of the Russian. Russo standing off, which is unusual for him. Gets caught by the right jab of TISHCHENKO. TISHCHENKO, no slouch, bringing it forward. And of course for Russo, he'll have very rarely come across a smaller fighter than him in his weight category. So he'll be used to fighting the taller fighter. He'll have strategies in place. And you can see just how much this man loves the sport. Nods in appreciation of anything that the Russian throws at him.
Yeah,
just having a look-see, both fighters. Colin?
I'm not entirely sure it's in appreciation. It's almost disrespect. He does it quite often. You remember in the semi-final when he stuck his tongue out when he took a jab hard on the nose. He tries to play mind games. His hands, are they going to start dropping? And that's one of his little tricks. But maybe with that huge long reach of the Russian, he's going to keep his guard up and high and tight.
Well, TISHCHENKO on paper's got everything stacked in his favor. The height, the reach. He's an accomplished boxer. Got the power, got stoppage power. But not in the bucket loads that Clemente Russo has. The crowd gave a huge roar of appreciation for Russo. At the end of the first, just going on to the bell, it's Russo that maybe has the last word.
Well, TISHCHENKO getting a couple of nice jabs in again right before the bell, and that may well sway the judges towards the Russian. Russo a lot cagier than we've seen him throughout this tournament, where he's had his hands down by his side, just waiting to unleash some big punches, but not so many thrown here.
Maybe, as you said, Colin, he does like to play mind games, and perhaps he's trying to upset the strategy of TISHCHENKO. They've said to him, be careful, he comes big, he comes large, Russo. You're going to have to really be cagey. And of course, Russo reverses that, gives TISHCHENKO something to think about.
10-9 across the board for Clemente Russo. They like his aggression, they like his power, and they like the way he has got through and scored some clean punches on the Russian. But it must have been a tough decision because TISHCHENKO was feeding out his jab there. He scored quite a lot of good punches, but under the new 10-point must system, somebody must score 10, and it's Russo who gets given it. So we're back underway in the second round. Clemente Russo in red for Italy, TISHCHENKO in blue.
Underway here in the second, and TISHCHENKO having a lot of success with that straight right, that jab poking out, putting Russo just on the wrong foot. Russo having to get in and under to do any damage. Big right, big left. Tried to work the body in the first. Russo tried to drop the hands of TISHCHENKO. Back to the mind games and the showboating, and that right hand comes from nowhere. Uses the ring beautifully. And when you think that Tishenko is such an accomplished fighter himself, but Russo a real master. Big thundering right into the midsection. Trying to drag the hands of the Russian down. And he's almost conservative with his use of shots, Russo. Choosing his shots carefully, not expending any energy, not wasting any energy.
The Russians still marching on here.
Just keeping out of range, using his feet.
Yeah, he doesn't look intimidated by the Italian's power.
Very slippery, Clemente Russo. Turns his man, throws in the punches, gets the right to work. How he gets those shots off from absolutely nowhere, almost from the hip. Really, really foxy. Russo just puts up the left occasionally just to get the range. Then he puts the right in so fast. And again, the body shots coming in. The hands have got to drop of the Russian. The referee not happy with it at all. Having a word with the Russian. And again, thundering into the midsection. Scathing shot, that is, Colin.
Well, just 20 seconds left of this round, and the Italian starting to get into his stride now. Look at that, leaping off the ground, 2 feet in the air as he drives in a big right to the Russian, who replies. And, well, with 8 or 9 seconds left, these big men are starting to look a little bit tired. They're giving it their all.
Russo not expending any unnecessary energy. Well, chose his shots.
He's called time, the referee, but it's actually down to 0 seconds. The gum shield's out for the Russian, I believe. And that's it, though. It's straight into the break. Well, perhaps they haven't realized that actually the time had run out. Oh, there we go. Back to their corner, the formality of that. And, well, Clemente Russo. I mean, if you get some action photographs of that, at certain points, he's 6 inches in the air, throwing massive right hands.
Well, he's a real brawler, isn't he? And he brings a lot of aggression, a lot of power to his shots. And to make the height differential, he just throws himself, as you say, launches into the air, Colin, to make sure he gets good contact. But he's been very conservative throughout this, really measured. And I think in the 3rd round now, we're going to see something of the Russo that we know.
Russo's up out of his chair, desperate to get on with this. 20-18 across the board from all 3 judges. Right now, he's got one hand on the gold medal, Clemente Russo. He was world champion in 2007. Is he going to step back up on top of the podium once again? Round number 3, Evgeny TISHCHENKO of Russia in blue, Clemente Russo of Italy in red. 3 minutes to go.
Well, I'm sure Russo can sense that he's done enough. If he can put an explosive finish in here, just to seal it. The referee just warning Russo not to pull his man on, not to trap his hands in. Trying to spoil him on the inside. Well, he's on his toes now and he's moving. Tried throughout this whole bout to bring the hands of Tishenko down. He cannot do it. Tishenko's gloves absolutely glued to his chin. Just big thunderous shots. You can hear them ringside. Mind you, Tishenko gets a body shot off of his own. Russo not having it all his own way. But now, Tishenko up on the ropes. Can Russo work him? Unfortunate for Russo, he's got to come under, but he's getting asked by the ref to keep his head up. Some 4 shot combinations from the Russian, but they've got no weight behind them. Russo still shooting at will. Big right hand comes up and over. Tishenko still in touch with it, but it's Russo all the way here.
Well, under the old scoring system, Tishenko may well be winning this bout right now, but it's great that they've moved to the 10-point must system with the headgear, and the aggression and power of the Italian is paying off.
Well, the change in the rules introduced for this championship, which makes headgear no longer usable, it's changed the mindset and attitude of the fighters. And early studies have shown that it's potentially safer for the fighters not to have the headgear on, but it allows fighters with power shots like this to really make inroads. Being warned about the heads again, both fighters.
Under 30 seconds to go now. Clemente Russo, is he dancing to victory, or does the Russian have one last chapter in this story? Oh, that looked pretty dirty, and Russo tells him off for it as well before the referee does.
So on his toes and moving again, and just that innocent no from Russo is done enough.
And a little hug at the end there, despite that little infringement there by the Russian, which gave a reaction from Russo. But he thinks he's done enough. I think we all think he's done enough. And I think once again, he could be world champion here.
Well, the action certainly saw a bit of a step up in success for the Russian. But just that dance at the end. Here we get a chance to see what was that unfortunate strike. More out of frustration, I think, from Tishenko than malice. But I love the innocent look up of no from Russo.
Well, big smiles on Clemente Russo's face.
And a quick ruffle of the hair to make sure he looks great for the cameras.
Well, he is with the Dolce & Gabbana team in the World Series of Boxing after all there. Looking good, feeling good, boxing well. The world champion again from Italy, Clemente Russo. He's done it. Now 2 times world champion. And at the age of 31, he wins back that title that he won some 7 years ago. Takes the applause of the Kazakh crowd here. And quite the VIP audience to do it in front of. Mr. Franco Falcinelli, AIBA Vice President and European Boxing Confederation President. He will be giving out the medals. Mr. Bakhtiar Artayev here to help out with the ceremony as well. Well, 2 bronze medals given away at the World Championships. In the 91 kilo class, Argentina and Azerbaijan getting their bronze medal. Yamil Peralta, who lost to Tishchenko in the semi-final 3-0. And the #1 seed in the world, Timur Mammadov, surprisingly beaten by Clemente Russo, who really does suit this new style, Olympic style of boxing. No headgear, 10-point must system, and boy is it exciting. The silver medalist, he was very game in the final. An extremely tall athlete, the Russian champion. He tried to work from behind his jab to beat Russo, but he just wasn't up to it in the end. Silver medal then for Russia. He was the world champion. He is once again the world champion, Clemente Russo, 31 years old. We're going to see a lot more from this man as he boxes for the Dolce & Gabbana Italia Thunder in the World Series of Boxing. Just such an exciting fighter.